Justin Bieber has reportedly shared some revealing details that Diddy allegedly warned him not to make public. Over the years, Justin has been pretty open about how tough things were for him as a young star trying to handle sudden fame. In those early days, he said it was hard to deal with all the pressure, especially being so young, and still figuring out who he was. One person who played a big role in his life back then was Sean Diddy Combs. In past interviews, Justin has even gotten emotional when talking about that time in his life. He admitted that, at first, he just wanted to be rich and famous, but he had no idea how much of a toll it would take on his mental and emotional health. Adding to the controversy, singer Jaguar Wright publicly accused Diddy of mistreating young stars, including Justin. Her accusations stirred more suspicion about Diddy's past behavior, painting a troubling picture of how he may have handled relationships with young artists. One video that went viral shows a much younger Bieber with Diddy. In it, Diddy talks about wanting to spend 48 hours straight with Justin, a comment that didn't sit right with a lot of people. Critics felt it was odd and unsettling for a grown man in his 40s to suggest spending that much one-on-one time with a 15-year-old boy. Diddy has faced various allegations over the years, with some accusing him of manipulating young and aspiring artists, promising them success, only to allegedly exploit them once they were in his circle. The idea of Diddy spending 2 full days with a teenage Bieber drew heavy backlash. Many questioned what kind of relationship he had with Justin, and why someone with Diddy's power in the industry would want that kind of closeness with a teenager. It left people asking a tough question: was Justin Bieber groomed by Diddy during his early years in the spotlight? The situation has raised even more eyebrows about the nature of Diddy and Justin Bieber's relationship, and whether it was ever really in Justin's best interest. From the way things look, Justin never seemed all that comfortable around him. Now, Bieber's recent actions have only added more fuel to the fire, bringing new attention to the old claims about Diddy's behavior toward young, up-and-coming artists. Even with all the serious accusations surrounding him, Diddy has somehow managed to avoid major fallout. Many believe that's because of the strong influence and powerful connections he holds in the music world. One resurfaced video shows a much too young Justin Bieber drinking with Diddy. People who were there said Justin looked out of it drunk, vulnerable, and with his clothes slipping off. There are disturbing claims that he may have been underage at the time, and one source even alleges that both Diddy and rapper The Game took advantage of him while he was completely unconscious. It's stories like these that have people questioning how Diddy has managed to dodge accountability for so long, especially when it comes to how he's allegedly treated young artists like Justin. And now, with all these accusations piling up, there's growing pressure on Bieber to finally speak out. From the looks of it, Justin has started to open up, and what he's saying seems to confirm what many feared all along. Many fans and critics feel that Justin Bieber has a responsibility to speak up not just for himself, but to help protect other young artists who might face similar situations in the industry. They believe that Justin's story could shine a light on the darker side of showbiz and possibly hold powerful figures like Diddy accountable for their actions. One video that sparked a lot of debate showed Diddy patting down a young Justin, which some people found suspicious. Critics claimed it looked like Diddy was checking to see if Justin was wearing a wire, like he wanted to make sure he could say whatever he wanted without getting caught, even if it was something shady. The PBD podcast has been one of the few platforms openly discussing the serious accusations against Diddy. They've focused heavily on his interactions with young stars like Justin Bieber and Usher during their early careers, digging into the possibility that things might not have been as innocent as they seemed. Meanwhile, Justin himself has talked about how tough those early years were. In past interviews, he's admitted that his obsession with fame and success clouded his judgment. As a teenager, he often couldn't tell what was right or wrong. He just wanted to make it big. This has led many to wonder, when Justin reflects on those confusing times, is he talking about his experience with Diddy and others who might have taken advantage of his youth, trust, and ambition? One moment that really raised eyebrows was when Diddy gave Justin Bieber a car. A lot of people questioned why he would gift something so expensive to a teenager. Critics felt there had to be more to it than a gift like that doesn't come without strings attached. Things got even more suspicious when an old clip resurfaced after Diddy's recent arrest on serious charges, including ST and racketeering. In the video, Diddy calls Justin his little brother and gives him a strange warning not to talk about certain things they did in the past. Like a little brother, Diddy says, before warning Bieber to keep quiet about things that are not for everyone to know. That clip was from a 2011 episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live and shows a 16-year-old Justin Bieber Bieber sitting next to Diddy, who was 41 at the time. While the conversation was meant to be lighthearted, the warning took on a darker tone after Diddy's arrest. After this video resurfaced, Justin's past relationship with Diddy came under fresh scrutiny. It wasn't just the clip. There have been other odd moments between them that fans now see in a new light. In that same interview, they also talked about working on music together. Diddy even joked about their dynamic, calling it strange, and comparing their bond to the reality TV pair Rob and Big. He also described Bieber in a protective, big brother kind of way. He said Justin was a little brother who doesn't have a problem asking for advice. But now, looking back, people are starting to question the true nature of that relationship and whether there was more going on behind the scenes than we were led to believe. Things took a darker turn after federal agents raided Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami. The raids came in the wake of shocking allegations from his ex, Cassie Ventura, who accused him of physical claims supported by a leaked video showing Diddy attacking her. Other former associates, including Lil Rod, have also come forward with serious accusations, adding more weight to the growing scandal. The situation continues to spiral, and for Justin, it seems like the weight of his past ties to Diddy is something he'd rather not face right now. A resurfaced video has fans once again asking questions about Justin Bieber's past visits to Sean Diddy Combs' mansion, especially after Diddy's former bodyguard spoke out, revealing some interesting details. The clip shows Diddy's ex-bodyguard reflecting on one particular visit when Justin was only 15 years old. He recalls an unusual moment inside the house where Bieber pointed at a luxury car and said, "You want one of these?" referring to a Lamborghini. The former bodyguard explained in the video. The ex-guard then shared that these visits weren't always planned out or formal. Sometimes they were just last-minute meetups, he said. Still, that didn't stop Reddit users from diving into deeper discussions. Some reflected on how fame at such a young age might have impacted Bieber mentally and emotionally. One comment read, "With finding success at such a young age, Justin was probably exposed to a lot of situations that really impacted his psyche." It's not just Justin Bieber people are talking about. There's been a growing buzz that Usher might have been caught up in something similar during his early days in the industry. Long before he became a household name, Usher was just a 14-year-old with incredible talent and dreams of making it big. That's when Diddy stepped in, taking the young singer under his wing and offering what seemed like the opportunity of a lifetime. But now, people are looking back and questioning what really happened during that time. Over the years, Usher has dropped hints that his experience behind the scenes wasn't as glamorous as it appeared. In an old interview that's resurfaced, he talks about living with Diddy as a teenager, and let's just say it wasn't a place for a kid. Usher recalled being surrounded by wild parties, adult situations, and a lifestyle that was way too mature for someone his age. At the time, many brushed it off as just industry culture, but with Diddy now facing serious accusations, those stories are starting to hit differently. And now, Usher's reportedly speaking up like never before. According to sources, he's not just sharing vague memories. He allegedly has solid proof. We're talking videos, eyewitness accounts, and inside details that line up with what investigators have already been looking into for months. If true, this could be a major turning point in understanding the darker side of the music business. In an emotional moment on The Howard Stern Show, Usher opened up about what those early years in New York were really like. He shared that at just 14, he moved in with Diddy, who was both his mentor and a gateway into the industry. And while it might have looked like a dream from the outside, Usher's experiences are now raising some serious questions and shining a light on things many in the industry have kept quiet about for years. At first glance, it all looked perfect. A rising teen star backed by one of the biggest names in hip-hop? Sounds like every young artist's dream. But according to Usher, what really happened behind closed doors was a totally different story. He's since opened up about being just a kid surrounded by a world he had no business being in. Non-stop parties, messy environments, and grown-up situations that, at the time, he didn't fully get. Looking back, he's admitted he was curious. Sure, just like any teen would be. But now he sees clearly that a lot of what happened shouldn't have. In an old interview with Oprah, Usher also spoke about how fast and overwhelming that lifestyle was. Everything looked glamorous, but underneath the surface, it came with some real baggage. Emotionally and mentally, he just wasn't ready for the pressure that came with it. Still, he kept going, pushed by the expectations of the industry and the people surrounding him, even when it didn't sit right. Now, years down the line, Usher's reflecting on everything. Some of it good, a lot of it painful, and some he probably wishes he could just erase. And with so much heat currently on Diddy, Usher's story suddenly doesn't feel like just an isolated experience. It's beginning to look like one piece of a much larger, disturbing puzzle. For the longest time, whenever someone brought up those early years, Usher would smile and sidestep the topic. But something's shifted. These days, he's hinting that there was way more going on behind the scenes than anyone ever realized. And now that Diddy's under serious investigation, it feels like Usher is finally ready to speak openly. And he's far from the only one. More and more people from Diddy's inner circle are stepping forward, and if Usher does come out with receipts, it could be the breaking point. Things are unwinding quickly. Diddy's properties have already been raided, not just by local police, but by major federal agencies like Homeland Security. They're digging into a laundry list of serious allegations from shady finances to possible HT. If Usher adds his voice and evidence to the mix, that might just be the final domino. But Usher's story isn't the only one raising red flags. As more lawsuits stack up against Diddy, Justin Bieber's name has suddenly resurfaced in the conversation. An old clip of a young, clearly underage Bieber hanging out with Diddy recently went viral, and people are uncomfortable, to say the least. In the video, Diddy says, "He's having 48 hours with Diddy. Where we're hanging out and what we're doing, we can't really disclose." That comment alone left people stunned. In the same clip, Diddy brings up Usher too. He explains that while he wasn't Bieber's legal guardian, he had custody of him for 48 hours because Bieber was signed to Usher. Even more unsettling, Diddy also claims he had legal guardianship of Usher when he was a teen recording his first album. Given how young both boys were at the time, it's a lot to process. What really makes this clip feel eerie is the timing. It blew up right as federal agents raided Diddy's homes in LA and Miami. That coincidence has only made people more suspicious, with fans asking, what was really going on all these years? And then there's Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, who hasn't been shy about calling things out. He's spoken publicly about Diddy's interest in young talent, and what he said about Usher's time with him is honestly chilling. According to Gene, Usher may have been put through situations not too different from what Cassie allegedly went through. In fact, he even claims it got so bad at one point that Usher ended up hospitalized. He also hinted that Diddy had some kind of plan involving Usher, which adds even more darkness to the situation. Gene brought up something that really hits. Usher's connection to Diddy runs deep, not because of loyalty, but because of what he lived through. That might be why Usher has always tread carefully when talking about him, like he's trying not to stir the pot or say too much. And honestly, that kind of caution, it's not unusual for someone who's been through trauma. Sometimes people protect the very person who hurt them out of fear, confusion, or just trying to survive. Given everything that's come out, it really seems like Justin Bieber might be holding back a lot more than he's ever shared publicly. Many people believe Diddy may have pressured him to keep quiet, possibly warning him to stay silent to avoid exposing the truth. And let's be real, things are already looking bad for Diddy. But if someone like Justin Bieber or Usher comes forward and confirms that Diddy had an inappropriate interest in young boys who were just trying to make it in the industry, it could absolutely rock Hollywood to its core. So what do you think? Is Justin hiding something? Or have we already seen all there is to see? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear what you think.